So we have the ball bouncing on the X position of the paddle and the Y position of the paddle, but the ball comes back. And so what does that mean? Well, here is my code, and I right click and I run the code. It goes past the edge and it comes back. Did you see that? So it does this, and it came back. So why is that? Well, there's a bug in our code, and to make it a little bit more clear on what's going on, what does our code currently say? It says if the ball is less than this amount, ooh, wrong color. Let's see, maybe we could change this to 0 and 0, say okay. So if the ball is less than this amount here, I'm sorry, greater than, so if it's passed on the right side of this line, and it is also greater than this amount here, and less than this amount here, with 0, 0 being in the corner, and width being here, and height being down here, then bounce, right? So the ball's coming downward at a downward angle, and those conditions are not true. It's not greater than this amount, and it's not greater than this amount, and less than this amount. At this moment, the only thing that's true is that it is less than this amount, the bottom of the paddle. So when it gets to here, there are two things that are true. The ball is greater than this amount, and it is also less than this amount. But the ball is not greater than this number here, which is the top of the paddle. Okay, so the ball's going, and once it reaches here, the condition that we set was if the bottom of the ball is greater than the top of the paddle. And right here it is true. It is also true that it is less than this amount here. And it is also true that it is greater than this amount here. So that's why the ball right here bounces. It moves to here. Then all three of those conditions are true. It bounces and moves to here. Those conditions are true. Bounce, 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 bounce. It does a zigzag pattern through past the back of the paddle, and then it continues moving this way back onto the screen. And we don't want that to happen, right? What we want is for the ball to continue going past off the screen, and the game ends, right? Or the round ends at least. And so how can we do that? Well, if this is a close-up of the paddle, what we can do is not just say if the ball is greater than the left side of the paddle. What we can do, let me go ahead and change this to a number, is have a range for the X position of the paddle as well as the Y position. Right? So we already have a range for the Y position. If it's greater than this number here, less than this number here, we can also put a range on the X. If it is greater than this number here, and if it is less than this number here. So the ball will only bounce if it is inside of this green hitbox that we have created through putting all these conditions together. So what conditions are we going to use? Well, you can use pretty much any condition that you want, but what I used is the left side of the paddle, -5, right? So if it is greater than this number here, and the left side of the right paddle, +5. So, and if it is less than this number here, right? For the range on the X position, you could play around with those numbers and get one that feels good for you. But that is how we are going to solve this bug.